What's going on, guys? Lone coming at you with another RustEdit tutorial. This one's going to be covering over volumes and triggers. Within RustEdit, there are a number of different triggers and volumes. The first one I'm going to be going over is called the spawn point. This one does require the RustEdit extension to be installed to function, but it basically just adds a manually placed spawn point on your server wherever you place it. This does override the current ones based off topology, so if you were to drop this on your map, all the other native spawn points within the game will be canceled out and players will only spawn within the spawn points that you drop here. The next ones are the prevent movement volumes. It comes in two forms. You have a cube and you have a sphere. These are resizable and you can drop them anywhere around your map to prevent an area from being built inside of. Within this video, you'll also notice that I have a visual debug where you can view the colliders within the game. You can type the command on screen in your console as long as you're an admin or owner of the server to be able to view these. Otherwise, these are all going to be invisible within the game itself. But as you can tell, the players cannot build within the volumes here. The next one we're going to be going over is the prevent movement volume. This one works very similar to basically prevent players from going within an area that you set this to. With that said, you can still have items pass through the volume, but a player cannot. So they can throw deployables, they can shoot through it, they just cannot pass through the volume itself. The next one is called the invisible collider. This one is basically the same, except it doesn't allow anything through this one. Basically, it works like a brick wall that you cannot see. Nothing can pass through it, you can't throw any items through it. It's just to prevent players from going to that area. The next one is the ladder trigger. You can search it by clicking the prefab list and typing in ladder trigger. This one is resizable and it lets players climb up any surface that you place this at. The next one is called the water trigger. How this works is it lets players pass through water as if there's no water there in existence. This also has an ambient effect where it makes the player's screen go a little bit darker if they're inside the volume. Additionally, you will not see any water whenever you're inside of the volume like you would normally if you're in the ocean. The next one is called the terrain trigger. This works by basically making it so players can pass through the terrain. This is very helpful for custom caves and creating cool environments where you want it to be darker. Because if a player is inside the terrain trigger, it will be a darker environment than they would be if they were out of it. So as you can tell, the terrain is normally solid, of course, as you would run on it normally. Whenever you try running inside of a terrain trigger, you will pass through the terrain as if it's not even there. The next one is called the invisible chair. This one is very helpful for in case you needed to create an area where you wanted a player to sit down at in a custom location. These are a little bit more picky to place in terms of functionality, so if you place them in an invalid spot, the only way I've found to make them allow a player to sit is if you place the legs inside of something. Just make sure all of the legs are visible and the player has plenty of room to sit down in it. This last one is a bonus prefab I wanted to add in. This one is called the Shopkeeper VM Invis. Basically what this is just an invisible shopkeeper, or a vending machine pretty much. Whenever you place this anywhere down on your map, it does not have a collider, it is not visible, but a player can buy things from it. From what I can tell, it has this preset list of vending machine items. I don't believe you can edit it. You possibly can with a plugin though. I just wanted to throw this in as an extra item. Hope this was helpful for some of you guys making maps. If it was helpful for you, please leave a like and a comment. It really helps me out, motivates me to make more videos. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day, and I'll see you next time.